Buenos nachos, amigos, and welcome back to Hallyujuku. Hallyujuku's back and better than ever? Probably as good as ever, maybe. As good as ever. We're here, back in the seat, after a little bit of an unplanned hiatus due to computer problems and life stuff. But we're back. Back in the K-pop groove. I'm PD Rave, your man with no plan. Here with me, as always, is my tag team partner, my partner in crime, Brandon Cooper, aka King Kaz. How you doing, Kaz?
I am doing well. I am thinking about the Burger King's Kids Club. Would like to join. Where do I sign up?
I think there's like a form. You can. There's probably a website still. There's probably a website still.
Probably an 800 number I could call.
1-800 Kids Club.
Yeah.
Get a free.
I don't know why. I think it's the for maybe people who don't listen to a lot of my other podcasts, I think it's just like the troll in me that sometimes I latch on to like really old fucking memes, and then I'm just like, oh man, I want to bring this back. So like, if you follow me on Twitter, there's going to be a lot of Burger King's Kids Club and talking about wheels and fucking kidvid. Like, yes. So.
Kidvid.
I'm in a mood.
Yes.
If you're easily triggered, find a bunker. Cause, I don't know why, but Burger King's Kids Club is on the docket.
Yeah. He had the original VR helmet. He people thought like he was there. Like he had the whole, he lived in that VR helmet. Like he wasn't in our reality. He had his own reality. He had the VR AR setup always.
Lots and lots and lots of drugs.
Yes.
Because it was the early
90s.
90s? Yeah, 90s.
Early 90s, late 80s. It was that whole aesthetic. But besides that, speaking of besides that, because we're actually looking at K-pop in the past couple of years, we've gotten a lot of that aesthetic back. But speaking of K-pop, we're going to talk about some stuff. We talk about East Asian pop culture on this podcast. Discuss what's new, discuss what's going on. Of course, we start off with what's new, what's caught our attention since we last gathered. It's been a lot of stuff, quite a few songs, quite a few releases, several big releases. Let's start with one big one that we should cover. Blackpink in your area. Back with As If It's Your Last.
Is that going to be the thing that's going to be in every song for a while?
Probably.
Because I'm already over it. I love them. I love Blackpink. I really do. And I legitimately only have two issues at this point. One, stop changing Lisa's hair color for every fucking video. Okay? It's not healthy to her hair. No. And two, stop saying Blackpink is in your area in every video. It's not healthy for me.
I would add a third thing. Stop digging up old throwaway songs for your other group and slapping it onto your new group as if that's okay.
I don't know. I like this song.
All right, it's As If You Last. There's no way around it. It is very much a 21 song from 2011, 2012. And yeah, it's not bad. It's very good. 21 songs were great. Teddy Park did a great job with those songs. But you can very much hear exactly which part went to which 21 member. How it would have broke down with them as singers. They almost make them perform exactly the same way that 21 would have performed this song. I don't know. It's like,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't really consider YG's like, I don't really consider them, when it comes to the groups and stuff like that, to be that diverse, right? Because even to a certain extent, Icon and even though they don't do things, and they do sometimes, right? Like, I'm going to say they do sometimes, but they don't generally do things that are very much like Big Bang things, but they do things that are very similar to each other in Icon and Winner, right? Like, they have a lot of similar aesthetics sometimes, except like Icon gets the shittier version of the song generally.
It's the more immature version of the songs because they're meant to target the younger, the teenagers, and Winner is meant to target the college age kids. But
yeah. But there's every so often where you kind of listen to, more specifically, a Winner song because of the thing that you said, where you go, sounds like a throwaway ass fucking Big Bang song, like you know. And I just think they just don't have a lot of diversity in how they do things.
They just don't have a lot of fresh ideas.
Yeah, but it works out for them, right? It works out for them really well, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, right? They're very well musically. YG is great. You know, there are other things that they have issues with, but I'm not going to go into that because we've went into those things hundreds and hundreds of times, and I'm just not going to do it again.
No.
But musically, I don't have a problem with the YG sound, right? It's at this point kind of formulaic, but it's done really well. Yeah. You know, and this is the sound that I have always liked. Even when 2NE1 was still a thing, we complained more when they didn't do this, right? Yeah. It was when they did things that weren't Teddy Park songs that we were like, yeah, you kind of missed the mark here, right? Like, stick with what works. And I think that's what they've kind of learned to do, is stick with what works. Yeah. At some point, I'm pretty sure they're going to end up having a fucking Will.i.am. I swear to God, if you fucking reach out to Will.i.am again, I'm triggered. But yeah, no. The song itself, I don't have a problem with. I'm really starting to enjoy Blackpink more and more and more and more as I listen to them. They're not GOT7, but, you know, I still like them.
I want them to start getting to establish their own identity.
I think we're still 4 or 5 months out from that.
We'll see.
We've dealt
after Japan,
with
maybe
being fans of the Korean music industry for a while, right? You know how the formula goes. It's going to be at least another couple months before we start getting kind of individuality, you know, in their music.
Hopefully after Japan, because apparently that's like the next thing for them is they're gonna invade Japan with Blackpink. We'll see how it works because
Blackpink will be in that area.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's overall it's a good song, but I have my trepidation. I will say I wonder, and I made the joke on Discord. I wonder if I made a similar joke, but I wonder if the 5-year-old Pro Tools session that Teddy Park opened had been edited in since then, or did he just like open it that way and just start from there from 5 years ago? But
yeah. I'm gonna move into some songs for myself.
Yeah. What you got?
Attention. So our boy Henry, on a solo, released a song called "I'm Good." And at first, when I saw the teaser for this, I thought it was gonna be a lot more ridiculous. But it's so feel good and fucking fun that I have no problem. Like it's so just like party, like, and just like the track you're like, yo, I got paid. I don't have to pay bills. I can blow this whole fucking check. Let's go.
Yeah, it's well made. It's really well produced. It's nice to see him kind of break into his own identity and sound. Well, I mean, not his own sound, but but you know, a sound that he likes. One could very well call this style J Park Light, or Great Value J Park.
Yeah.
But he does it fine. Yeah, he has the producers to help him out, and he has the rap feature. And he does well. It's not a bad song. It's not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it could have been, and I think it's just mad fucking fun. Like, and we've liked Henry. We know what kind of ridiculous fucking character Henry is. So this just is right up his alley, just to kind of be it's entertainment, right? And you get the entertainment vibe from it. We've talked about that difference, right? When there's the try hard kind of thing, right? And it happens in American music and other cultural music, like where you can have fun with it because it's entertainment versus them trying to like make you really believe that they are this thing, right? Yeah. Like Henry is all about entertainment and having this entertainment value, right? And this is almost like a character in this song, and it's just like just a thing. So you can kind of really just get into it because of that.
Yeah. I'm hoping that this gives them an avenue to just get the hell out of that whole attachment to Super Junior thing, because I will because I don't know, he doesn't need Super Junior, and I'd like to forget Super Junior exists.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Like, because Henry is kind of starting to have this kind of rising star quality to him, right? Like, he's starting to just kind of have the spotlight shine on him a little bit more and more and more.
Yeah. On the positive, yeah. Speaking of that, I don't see any mention of Super Junior in the video description, so you got that going for it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good song. Mm-hmm. Not bad. But yeah, moving on.
So moving on to something that I was super, super fucking confused about, as were other people, right? Which is a G-Dragon song called Untitled 2014. And I was like, because I did this thing where I stopped using my YouTube channel, like my YouTube account to listen to K-pop songs, and I just started using an unlogged in account to listen to things, because then it just would cycle through everything, right? Because then it was only looking for K-pop, and it didn't have the weirdness that my YouTube channel has, where it's like also trying to figure out things over all these years that I've cluttered up my shit. Yeah. Which was just an idea to help me like find shit easier, to have an account that's literally, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to make an account now for YouTube that is literally only when I listen to K-pop on YouTube, so that the aggregate and the search just looks for K-pop. Yeah. But so this is a G-Dragon kind of like R&B track, like just a really smooth, jazzy fucking song that the boy is doing. And it's called Untitled 2014, so it confused the fuck out of me because I thought it was old.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody should tell G-Dragon that titling a song untitled is not impressive or deep. Just give it a title. Just give it a title. Yeah. Stop it. You're not.
But it's also this song about, him kind of having, because a lot of people are saying this is kind of like going to be his goodbye to fans, because next year is going to come up for I think next year is his turn to enter the army.
Yeah, his is next year. Top. He's going to have to do his over again. A lot of that nonsense, but G-Dragon is next year, and probably a few of the other guys after that.
Yeah. So people think he's going to kind of put out some kind of more soulful shit, which is kind of being one of the first things. Just as a way to leave people with a something.
Yeah, I would say it's an interesting song. It's a very kind of like introspective song. I will say I did notice that he seems to be have a very hard time keeping his head held up. Seems to be constantly falling back or forward. I blame his comical chin implant that he put in, that making him look like fucking the moon that the fucking McDonald's moon, or what was it from the commercials? Also, the album came out on a USB, which was interesting. It came in a USB covered in red paint that came off on your hands. That apparently was supposed to be like placenta blood, like signified like a birth. And it had like the some kind of like date on it. Also, that USB that you ordered and got in the mail and paid like I think like $50 or I don't know how much, didn't have the songs on it. Had a link to a website that you had to download the songs on.
You're doing too much, boy. I love you.
It's like
we love you. We love you to death. And you're doing too much. You're getting too artistic right now. All right, you're turning into Prince and shit. Stop.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah.
Stop.
You ain't Prince. I mean,
I didn't even want to take that shit from Prince. What you mean? I got to go out in the woods and fucking find the CD? Stop, dude. Just give me the fucking. Give me the CD.
If the songs were on the USB, I could overlook the everything else.
The rest of the artsy bullshit.
I can overlook all that other artsy bullshit, but if the actual songs actually came on the USB, it's not that hard. Like people who aren't on like fucking world class billion-dollar labels can do the USB thing and actually bother to include those songs. I have 3 of them by a certain artist by the name of Ali Spagnola. She had a great idea with her USB that comes in it's inserted into a shot glass for the Power Hour album. But you know what? The songs were on the actual USB.
I mean, you gotta look. You gotta be dedicated. All right, you gotta be dedicated to the motherfucking bit. And he is dedicated to the motherfucking bit. And if you ain't dedicated to the fucking bit,
it's
fuck out.
So much bullshit. It's basically, let's be real. It's YG wanting that physical album money, but without putting that physical album effort.
Yeah,
this is not like it was a photo book or anything. It was literally just a USB. There was no photo book, no postcard, no physical album fun.
Yeah,
a USB with no album on it.
Gotta give us the fun. That's what Korean music is all about.
Mm-hmm. But moving on. I'm sorry,
moving on.
I derailed us, but I had to rant about that.
Well, moving on to them boys.
Speaking of
we got we got them boys. So it's the boys from BTS.
Not known as Beyond the Scene, which is honestly a name I actually like. I think it's cool. They had a weird explanation for it that I'm going to ignore, but Beyond the Scene, actually, I think it's cool. It's a cool background. But yeah, you were saying.
Yeah. Like, and this is kind of a different track for them.
Yeah.
Like, from what they've recently been putting out, I would say.
It's a remake. Like I said, speaking of YG, it's a remake of the well-known kind of classic legendary track from Sateji and the Boys. Come Back Home. Kind of a reimagining remake. Yeah, it's a good song. That's all that matters. It's a good song.
Yeah, no, I love that it's like so much. Well, I mean, because like you said, it's a homage to the Sateji and the Boys, so it's so much more hip hop flavored. Like, but it just has this hard, just like appeal to it, like. But it just fits so well, like, and it's just like vocally just so well done. Like, I don't know, I just enjoyed the fuck out of it, man.
Yeah. It has that feel and that vibe that the original had, but modernizes it a lot and brings a lot more skill and legitimacy to especially the rapping. And as iconic and quintessential and as important as the original is, this one is better, like in so many different ways. like in just as a song, like and it makes sense, and because that's not a crazy thing to say because things progress and things move forward, and you can improve upon what was before. But yeah, this improved on so many things from the original, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I think the video is so fucking dope too. Like just like these people just being like at a down point in their lives and just keep going, like or trying to keep going as hard as it is.
Fighting and punching and bloody knuckles and like,
and then the mixture of just random shit that you have to throw into a video.
Shit. Yeah, interesting. Not to have BTS in the actual video. Interesting. But I guess it's kind of like let the music stand for itself, which is really cool. Especially for like the fact that it involves remaking a well-respected group and track. So it's like let the song speak for itself, which is really cool. Yeah, and it has such good emotion to it and a rawness to it, which is great.
Yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed the fuck out of it when I heard it. Like, it was just so unexpected. Like, I know people were talking about this track, and we had talked about like people talking about BTS were making a Setaiji track before. I think I don't know if it was while we were recording, but we talked about it, and then we were just like, man, I wonder what that's gonna be like. Like, because it could be really weird. But I think they did it really well. Like, I fucking I don't know what it is, man. Fucking BTS, man.
Yeah, like, they've grown and evolved so well, and they're a fantastic group, and they deserve the recognition that they've been getting because they've been evolving and getting so much better and earning their spot, which is really great. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna take over with some of the songs that I've got on my docket. I've got some girl power on my side. So, of course, everyone knows I love Mamamoo. Everyone that listens to the show or watches the show knows I love Mamamoo. I should say it. I've got my Mumu fan club goods coming their way. I signed up. I signed up to be into the second recruitment period for the fan club, so I'll be a card carrying Mumu. So I'm excited anytime Mamamoo produces the track. So they released a couple of tracks, but this is the main track called "Yes I Am" or "Naromarako Katumyong." If I were to speak of myself. And it's a fun, energetic track. There's a lot that's really great about the track. Their vocal styles, the energy, the instrumental has a cool vibe to it and cool energy to it. Mamamoo always has that great attitude and personality to their performance and their vocal performance and and it all works so well and. They look great and the song is fun and like it's about them being self-confident and like sassy and like cocky a little bit and having that swag that we know that they have. And it's just so fantastic.
No, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. Like I don't follow Mamamoo probably as closely as you do, but like I really like their stuff. Like, and this is why I'm glad like that we get to cover the spectrum the way we do, right? Like, because I cover all the boy groups and hip hop and shit like that, and you cover all the indie and girl groups. So like, we just have this nice like rounded out thing with how we do K-pop. So
yeah, and like
we don't miss shit.
And I just and it's more instances of me being unable to pick a favorite. I still can't pick a favorite because they're all so amazing. They also and the mini album, which I'm gonna end up probably ordering the physical copy of.
Probably.
It's and still and they've been and they're still consistent. It's still the same form factor, so it's going to fit exactly right next to all the other albums. Exact same height, exact same form factor. Purple. It's also really good. They have some good songs. They have the other track they're promoting, Ajigag, which is a song about dad jokes. Like it's just or Ajishi jokes, old guy jokes, just puns and stuff. It's probably something that if you don't not speaking Korean will probably limit your ability to quote unquote get it. But it even if you don't get it, it's a fun and catchy song. And there's also a Moonbyul solo that is just fantastic. Moonbyul, she doesn't get to shine as a vocalist because her vocal style isn't the same and isn't necessarily one that is like a fireworks style. And it showcases in the solo song, Love and Hate, in that she's more like a female Zion T. And she's more like sultry and it's more like in that style, but like more like females. I think more of a cool feel rather than like a peppy vocal gymnastic style. And so you understand why she doesn't get to sing that much in the main group songs, but she certainly deserves her chances to shine as a vocalist and not just as the token rap verse.
Yeah, I mean. We've mentioned before how Mamamoo is so across the board, right? And how they, have so much skill in their vocalization, right?
Yeah.
So it's, but you kind of have to have your formula, right? But every so often you can kind of divert from that formula, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's definitely worth checking out the album, the mini album, especially for the Moonbyul solo, which is out there. You can probably find on YouTube and stuff like that. And I think there's live performances and stuff of her doing it, which is cool. So go check that out. Moving on, big time comeback. This is a big time comeback. I put Mamamoo first just because they're my group, but this is the big time comeback. Boa, the queen, the heir apparent to the SM dynasty. Boa coming back with their track Camo. And it's kind of cool. It's really cool. It has a really cool feel to it. It has a really cool vibe to it. The performance is really cool. The choreography is fascinating. The video is very, very well made and has a lot of cool, interesting visual elements to it. And Boa kind of has that. She has her signature vocal style.
Boa is fucking classic. She's just such a fucking classic.
Yeah, and so good in this song. I think it's so well made. And yeah, it's catchy. It's cool. And the when the chorus hits, it feels cool and has a cool style to it. I love watching kind of the choreography works really well for it. Boa is a legend, and and she shows it in here, and it's just a fantastic comeback. This year, we've got Ihiori coming back with the track that I didn't feature this week, but it's interesting. I might talk about it in the future. We have the Boa comeback. We had Chung-Ha, who I wasn't familiar with, but I did kind of learn about and got to be familiarized with her work, and she's a legend as well. So this year has been kind of and with other Sex Keys and a few other groups, has been the legends coming back and reclaiming and trying to reclaim the crown, or at least stand there, stamp their legacy. The only thing left is Lee Jung-hyun comeback. Yeah, maybe bring back the pinky mic. But yeah, Boa, just fantastic track. But yeah, the legends. Now, speaking of kind of this style, we talk about a legend. Now we can talk about somebody who kind of is probably going to at least try to position herself as a successor to that legacy of being a multifaceted solo artist, singer, dancer, all that. Chung-Ha, she formerly IOI, somebody who had caught my eye in IOI, and somebody who's a pretty talented singer, dancer, can do all those really well. Can actually choreograph. To the point where she was the primary choreographer for the What a Man comeback. So she has a lot of tools in her utility belt, as it were. And she finally has her solo debut proper with Why Don't You Know? And while it's not without its flaws, I have to say it's a pretty solid debut track. There's a lot to really like about it. You could argue that the vocal style is a bit of a stretch for her, and you can kind of feel it. But I think overall it's still a really cool, well-made track that I think showcases her skills fairly well. And I think has promise, especially for like the performance and the choreography and the fun of all that, and has a cool fun vibe, and has that. It's another entry, and we've kind of figured out that K-pop really likes tropical house. I don't know if you noticed this, Kaz. K-pop Korea kind of has a thing for tropical house right now. This is definitely another entry into that list, but it does it well. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I liked it. Yeah, I needed to listen to it a few more times, but like I could definitely agree. Like, man, yeah, K-pop loves the beach and that kind of beach music sound.
It is the specific
those steel drums, man.
Yeah, like, oh my god. Which bodes well for a group like Card. But yeah, this song is good, and I think it's well made, and I think I'm looking forward to Chung-Ha's progression going forward. I think she has the ability to go up from here. I think that should work out well for her. But moving on, Stellar. A group that have kind of had their ups and downs. Not necessarily been the most mainstream popular group, or very close to being mainstream popular, but has been able to kind of be sustained by crowdfunding of all things. Being able to kind of like do their thing on Makestar, which is kind of like a K-pop Kickstarter, Kickstarter for Korean pop groups or Korean music groups, and Makestarred this, I guess, in a way you could say, instead of saying Kickstarter, Makestarred it. This comeback, and we kind of had a lot of like teasers coming into it about what was going to be the theme and the style of it. They had added a member, oddly enough. So people were a little bit skeptical about that. It's like when you start to like mess with like member lineups and things like that, people get concerned, and understandably so. And then they kind of got a few teasers. We got a little bit of word in the style of the song, and we finally got the song, "Archangels of the Sephiroth." It was like, huh? Wait, what's going on here? And then like what turns out to be a very compelling, interesting, out of left field, definitely not mainstream K-pop style song that I think works really well. and the song works really well. The performance works really well, and somebody on the Reddit comment pointed out, is like, oh, now we figured out why they added another member, so they can have odd numbers, because they were going to be featuring their dance formations a lot more. So, and what I've learned, I didn't know this before, I've learned that dance formations work better with odd numbers, apparently. Which it makes sense, because they have a center, and then everything works symmetrically around that center piece.
Yeah. The more you know.
Yeah. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a dancer. I'm not a trained dancer, so I wasn't familiar with that, but I get it, and it works, and I like that. That is a reason. It makes sense. But overall, it's just a cool song. Like, it's very interesting and very out there, and it's definitely not something that I don't think it's something that is very middle. It's hard. It's out of left field. Like, it's totally out there. But it's well made. Well, what did you think, Kaz?
It's odd, right? It's K-pop, but it's definitely a little different, right? But I liked it. I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed like this sound that I've never really heard before, kind of thing. Like it's hard to describe, right? Because it's not super duper different, but it's just kind of super duper off of what is the current meta. Like, goddamn, too much esports right now.
The current meta
of K-pop. Of K-pop music. So so like, it's just, I don't know. I enjoyed it though. That's the only thing I can really think to say. Because I'm gonna use too many sports terms.
Yeah. The carry. I was trying to think of some, but I don't know enough.
Don't do it. Don't
hit confirm. Wait, that's fighting game.
God damn it! We just had that moment. Like, I just found a song that. All right, keep
next week. Next week,
next week,
or 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now. Who knows?
God damn it!
It happens. But yeah, this song is really cool, and I liked it, and it's very interesting, and they look great, and they perform well, and it's very captivating. And I think it works really well. So good luck to Stellar. It's hard out there. It's a struggle. The struggle is real in K-pop for girl groups. So I feel for you. But yeah, that being said, we're going to transition over to our headlines, talk about some topical topics, and some craziness. So join us. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Headlines, where we talk about some interesting things that are going on in the world of East Asian pop culture, topical topics, news and happenings and goings on. So let's get into the craziness. Fan cuts off hair of another fan at Produce 101 concert for getting in the way of view. At the Produce 101 Season 2 concert, this is the dudes. Today, a fan reportedly became upset that another fan in front of them had their hair in a bun that limited the visibility of the stage. So the fan did the only thing a rational human would do. Pull out a pair of scissors they happen to have with them and cut off the other fan's hair. And you can see it right there. In itself, that's amazing crazy, but what I want to know is what happened afterwards, that the scissors, the hair, and all that is just left there.
So it's just a very aggressive situation, right? That is just at that point you're doing too much and you need to calm the fuck down. And we've talked about how the one crazy fan can ruin it for fucking everybody, and that's what this is. This is particularly that situation. One crazy fan ruins it for everyone else. So just you don't need to be that fucking crazy. Chill the fuck out, calm the fuck down. Just reel it back in. We're all human. Just chill out. Ask them to step to the side.
We're only human.
Just be like, yo, that bun is cool and all, but yo, I can't see my favorite member.
Yeah, like it's like just say, hey, can I squeeze in over here this way so I can see the stage? It's like this is why I'm glad. This is why I'm glad they never invite boy groups to the K-pop night out at South by Southwest. This is nonsense. Young people are crazy and passionate and do crazy things with their passion. How would neither one of us have the hair to make a bun or would wear a man bun, but how would you react if somebody just would just decide
that's just so they've already made the super aggressive move. They've come at you super aggressively. You can only meet that amount of aggression with aggression. Like there's nothing else to do.
It's like no. This goes back to the fan sites photographers that use other people as like tripods. It's like I'm like, what is you doing? No.
Right.
You just don't do these things.
It's just there's certain things you don't do, and that is definitely one of them. You don't do that. Don't do that. Stop.
Respect out. You gotta have some etiquette out there in the pit. Gotta have they need to have metal fans going out there teaching people pit etiquette. Fucking.
Yeah. Have a giant dude with tattoos being like, whoa, that's too aggressive. That's too aggressive. Let's reel it in.
Yeah.
You can throw a forearm. You can throw a shin. Don't throw no elbows. Do not throw elbows. No elbows.
Shoulder, maybe a little shoulder shove.
A little bit shoulder, yeah. A little shoulder shove.
Meat on meat, which is okay.
Yeah.
A little meat on meat, mostly shoving. No
that'll leave a bruise. That's not going to leave no marks. That's not going to fucking break the skin.
No fists, no elbows.
Yeah.
And if somebody falls down, everybody stops and picks that person up. First rule. So now you learn yourself some pit etiquette. Let's move on. To somebody else moving on.
To a not as silly thing. A little more serious.
FNC Entertainment confirms Choa is no longer a member of AOA. So this is something that had been going on for a little bit. Because Choa had personally put up a post.
Which we talked about. I think we talked about a little bit,
her kind of wanting to be away, having to take a break.
Yeah.
She had originally taken a break, and then just recently, during our little time away, she had posted up saying that she would she'd asked that to now no longer be a member of AOA and to kind of just. Because just for her own mental health, as much as she loved being with the members and promoting with the group, and she loves the fans, she needed it for her own mental health. So, after much back and forth between Choa, the media, and FNC Entertainment, FNC has finally confirmed that the singer will be leaving AOA. Choa announced her decision to leave AOA in a lengthy Instagram post about a week ago, citing the severity of her mental illness and insomnia as the reason she has been unable to promote with the group lately. Despite her Instagram announcement, FNC followed up with a statement claiming that nothing had yet been decided, mostly because they probably wanted to see what they can salvage. Decided in regards to her departure from AOA, saying that they were still in discussion with Choa regarding everything. Today, however, FNC confirmed that Choa is no longer a member of AOA. The company did not offer up an explanation, saying we cannot talk about internal matters. Both sides have a new position to relay. We will make an official statement. There has been updates. They made an official statement. Hello, this is FNC Entertainment. This is our official statement in regards to Choa's departure of AOA. From AOA. With the utmost respect for Choa's opinion, it was ultimately decided that she will leave AOA. The members will continue to show everyone various sides of themselves through individual activities. We ask for your continued love and support. So nothing really. They'd also reassured fans that they're not breaking up. They'd also discussed the fact that Yuna is going to take over main vocal position. But yeah.
So do you think they, at this point, just continue with the members they have? Or do you think it would be bad for them to add a new member?
I think they should just continue with the members they have now. It'd be weird. I mean, I say this late into their career. They debuted in 2012, so it's only been like 4 or 5 years. Unless the tough part is like a new member is going to get the Jason Newsted treatment. A new member filling in to like fill out the numbers and fill out the formations would make sense, but a new member to come in to take over, and even if they don't take over her spot, they're going to be perceived as taking over Choa's spot, which, I mean, is a tough position to put that person in. I mean, that being said, AOA is not going to be the same without Choa. Like, she was the main vocal, and she was the primary talent as far as vocals. Like, her and Jimin had the unique vocals, and Choa had the skills that really kind of lifted. She carried. Bringing in those terms. The other members, I mean, for what the music they do, they don't really need a lot, but it's still going to be hard to fill her shoes.
Yeah, it's going to be weird for a while, right? Like, because we've dealt with these situations before where you kind of have a member leave a group for whatever reasons, and it's always odd, for the first while, and then you kind of get used to it. But it's still one of those things that is just, I don't know, it just never feels right.
Yeah. That being said, the most important thing is that Choa is healthy and is able to kind of just be healthy mentally and physically, because stress and things like that. Stress can affect you mentally and physically, and kind of being away from it all is probably going to be very healthy for her. So in the end, that's all I could wish for her. That's all we could all wish for her, is that she's healthy. So all the best to Choa. Have happy fun times. Fighting. Excuse me. Burps. All right, let's move on to I guess not actual departures because they'd already departed, but it's kind of tying a bow on some things. Ex What's Up members Nada, Dain, Jinju have terminated their contracts with Mafia Records. Now, if you're wondering, yes, we did talk about this a while back, about the very thing, and yes, they left a while back. This is the finalization of them terminating their contract after the legal process. So, former What's Up members Nada, Dain, and Jinju had previously filed to terminate their contracts over a lack of payment, and a recent court ruling allowed them to do so for a price. Mafia Records, quote, Mafia Records stated the courts found Nada, Dain, and Jinju could terminate their contracts with the agency upon paying a fee of 50 million won, which is about 43 grand, each, as stated in their contracts. On June 30th, Nada's legal representation revealed the three had already deposited the penalty fees, ending their ties with Mafia Records. So they all paid the fee, and somebody did, and now they're I like in the article, they paid the fee, or somebody did, and now they're officially free. However, the courts also ruled that they were entitled to get the records of their accounts from Mafia. The courts also found that Nada, Dain, and Jinju were entitled to a record of accounts from the agency, as they claimed they had not received payment. Honestly, we don't know if that really is going to affect things or how that's going to matter. It's if it's really going to show them, but at least they'll get to see and have access to everything. Be like, yeah. So in the end, what's important is that it's all settled and they can move on. From their move on to the next phase of their life. And
then that's the thing you always want, right? You always want, in the end, for it to work out kind of fairly for everyone. Like the industry wants their way, but look, fuck you, bro.
And I guess they kind of got their way. I will say, it's good to see. What interesting was what is the next step for them. Like, like Nada has promise and has a persona, has talent. It's just a matter of where does she land and who can she work with. Like, I would love to see her end up like at an AOMG if there's room for her, or maybe showcase again on like Show Me the Money or something like that, and maybe try to get herself signed. But you always worry when somebody moves to go against the grain of their company, how that affects their relationships or their ability to establish relationships with other companies. Cause you always worry about that thing. But hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully things work out for them. Cause I adore them. What's Up has always been like a group that had a piece of my heart. As I watch them grow, especially from the days of us scoffing at the twerk idol concept, somebody saying there was going to be a twerk idol concept, to then falling in love with them and then watching them grow. And
so I think they were kind of the quickest turn for us, right? Because we kind of poo-poo things pretty quickly here on this show, and we were like, twerking concept, I don't know. And like even in the teasers, we were just like sold. Like, we were just like, nope, you got me. All right, I'm down. Like, I love these girls. They seem amazing. Like, and they are fucking amazing. It's sad that they're not going to be able to continue as a unit necessarily, right? Like maybe something in the future could happen where they could kind of reform, like almost like a some other groups have done in the past, if they really, really, really do enjoy working together. But it'll definitely be interesting just to kind of see where they get to go from here.
Yeah. So, again, wish you all luck to all of you. Fighting. Yeah. Last but not least, all right. So, I'm probably going to keep bringing up cool things from Japan because, of course, like I said, we have loose, very loose, about as loose as you can get, plans to go to Japan in the near future, in the not too distant future. And I always wanted to bring up really cool things and interesting things that we could experience in Japan. So I've never. So this is something like an escape room style thing?
Bring this up, yeah. But for me, I need to do this particular thing in 2 stages. But
yeah, let's get down to it. Test your wits and courage together in Tokyo Haunted House, where you must solve puzzles to escape. Escape from an urban legend looks to perfect the intriguing combination of scare houses and escape games. On the surface, haunted houses and escape games are pretty similar. They both lock you into a high-tension fantasy realm designed to excite you as much as possible. However, their fundamental difference is the emotions that each to produce. Scare houses produce a thrill of fear, whereas escape games hope to provide the thrill of satisfaction that comes with unraveling a mystery. So what if we were to merge the two into one form of entertainment? Get your chocolate into my peanut butter and my peanut butter and your chocolate. There have been similar attempts in the past, but they tended to be haunted houses with puzzle elements or escape games with horror themes. Then along came the collaborative effort of scare house impresario Hirofumi Gomi and escape game organizers Scrap. Having worked together previously in 2015 on Escape from the House of the Hidden Demon, they are now working again to fine-tune the truly hybrid haunted escape game genre.
So the thing about this is, right, I want to do this, but I want to do what the American escape room style thing is first, right? So I can have this kind of weird compare and contrast. Because the American escape rooms tend to have themes, right? Some of them are scary, some of them are more kind of
then they are scary.
But they have had these concepts of scary escape room, different style escape rooms. But I want to do the American style one and then do the Japanese style because I know they're going to be similar, but then they're going to be very different because they're culturally different. So I really, 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 really want to like feel it out and just kind of see what it's like, you know?
Yeah. It'd be an interesting concept. Like if we were if only we had gone to RTX, because this weekend RTX they're doing an achievement hunter escape room. Which is,
oh God,
I don't know how that would be, but I'm intrigued nonetheless. But yeah, apparently it revolves escape from an urban legend. It revolves around a town in which all the residents have gone missing. The center of the disappearance is an old house nicknamed the House of No Return, because anyone who enters as well, you probably got the idea. Yeah, and you get into this House of No Return, and you have to escape, which is a bunch of riddles in the game. So yeah, it would be very interesting. It'd be interesting to try it out. Apparently, it's if you want to check it out, the information is on Rocket News. We have the link to the page, but it's in Tokyo, the Sumida Ward in Azumabashi. Apparently 4 games on weekdays at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. 5 games on weekdays and holidays, 11 p.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. So basically, you can have one at 11 a.m. on the weekends. It's a 60-minute time limit. And not bad. It's 3,500 yen in advance, 3,700 at the door. So $30, 30-something bucks.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And you can do group tickets for 2 to 6 people in advance for 18,000 yen. So you can do a big group, 6 people for $180. It's just that's roughly what you'd expect. So it's not bad. Well, worth checking out, especially if we bring some people or we meet some people and do it. But yeah, we'll first have to try it here and then see how it contrasts and compares. Yeah, so looking forward to that in the future. Japan, we'll make it happen. We'll have you updated on all of that. But yeah, that brings us to the end of another episode of Hallyujuku. It's good to be back in the saddle. Hopefully get ourselves back in the rhythm of things. Kaz,
what up, babe?
What do you got going on?
Not a fucking thing, bro. I just depression and sadness. No.
A lot of PUBG.
What I have going on is a lot of video game playing. A podcast here called Sports Odds and Ends that I do with the great JVZ, where we talk about sports. We're going to be talking about all kind of things, like a basketball team signing a 40-year-old player. Can't miss that. And of course, the DKG Walt podcast, Drunk Kids Gaming podcasts. All those on iTunes. Find them, listen to them, enjoy them.
It seems signing for you. So do we finally re-sign Udonis Haslam? Or
nope.
Oh,
nope.
Oh, wait,
you're in the right era. You're in the right era. Wrong player.
Some other 40-something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm that's the only one I care about. Hashtag culture. But yeah, Drew was yelling at me about the Heat signing Kelly Olynyk. Apparently, we signed Kelly Olynyk. I'm like, okay. If I'm I told him, in Riley I trust. If Pat Riley says it's okay, then it's okay. Fuck it. I'm excited. But yeah, sportsoddsands.com. I might. Who knows? One of these days, I might crash that podcast and just yell about the Heat for an hour.
Yeah,
just show up.
We got to do that one day. Do some guest spots.
But yeah, go check that out. He's at King Kaz. I'm at PD Rave. The show is Hallyujuku. You can also go to kpoppodcast.com. It's a really easy website to share with people because it's easy to remember. Rebelli.net for this and other shows. Rebelli TV on YouTube and Twitch and other places.
Well, didn't I tell you? Don't you know?
Yeah, do the thing. Find us where you find podcasts. Subscribe, like, share, do all the things, all the calls to action. Until next time, hasta los huevos. Fighting.
Give it to me straight, Doctor. Give it to me straight, Doctor.